Welcome to Coffee Chat. This month it is quick, easy, frugal tips from our viewers.
If you don't know us, I'm Larry.
I'm Hope.
And we're from Under the Median, where every week we bring you videos on practical frugality.
We'll get right to the tips, but before we do, we're going to talk about our brew of the month. This month's brew comes from Just Beans Coffee Company. Just Beans, I know a little bit about it because I happen to know the owner of Just Beans. He was my supervisor when I worked in radio. He was my boss. And this is his retirement gig, and he is super duper good, guys, at roasting coffee beans.
Yes,
we're going to make
is.
sure that there's a link to his coffee company website in the description of this video. Tell us in the comments section what you're drinking during Coffee Chat this month.
And if you have any questions, this is good coffee.
It is, and so I'm going to show you. We are officially
Empty. We're out of it.
we need more.
That was my birthday gift, so that's been a while back. So, yeah, we're ready to reload.
Butter rum is what we're drinking.
Yes.
So you know what type of coffee we're drinking.
Right, right.
Let's get to the tips. Sheila says she keeps an actual 1/2 teaspoon measuring spoon by the sink. She fills that with dish soap, and that is all the dish soap that she uses to do an entire load of dishes. But she also keeps something else by her sink. She keeps a sprinkling jar filled with baking soda, because then when she's done with the dishes, she can just sprinkle the baking soda in the bottom of the sink, scrub it up, and the sink is clean and ready for the next load of dishes.
Dana wrote, we put regular linen sheets on the sofa during warm months, and it helps us to stay cooler. Now, in the cooler months, we put on flannel sheets. That also helps with dog hair. How does flannel sheets help with dog hair?
It keeps the dog hair off of the sofa. So any of you with pets, then you totally understand exactly what Dana is talking about. Abby Polfesky, gardeners, listen up. We got a couple of tips for you. She lets the lettuce bolt deliberately. It starts getting really hot, then the lettuce gets thick, it gets tall, and then it seeds. She keeps all of those seeds and she puts them in her compost pile. So over the winter, they sit there in the compost pile. In the spring, as soon as those little seedlings have grown to about 1 inch tall, she takes them out of the compost pile and transplants them to the garden. And she said she's done this for years and gotten lettuce every single year.
Another viewer writes, get cardboard boxes from Walmart and other stores that they will be throwing out and put them down as mulch between rows in my garden to prevent weeds and retain moisture in the soil. It's a lot cheaper than garden fabric.
Susan's been hanging laundry, and this is her advice. When you're hanging your jeans on the line, make sure the waistband is hung at the bottom, not at the top, at the bottom, so you hang them by the legs, so the waistband's at the bottom. They dry a lot quicker that way.
Sheila suggests this grab and go tip. Cook large batches of soup, stew, or even meatloaf, and then package it into individual meals. It makes life a lot easier.
Teresa's cooking up a storm too. She says small-scale batch cooking is a huge time saver as well as money saver. Now, when making casseroles, stuffed shells, pasta, muffins, etc., she just doubles the recipe and then she freezes the second half. So the muffins and bread go into baggies or containers. The casseroles, shells, and whatnot get frozen in inexpensive metal pans. Cover them with foil right on the top. The reheating directions too need to go on the top. Yeah, I should say that because you want to make sure you're reheating it in 350-degree oven for a certain amount of time. But once you have all that written on the top, it is so easy during a busy time to grab that and heat it up for supper rather than go for takeout.
I did that when I went backpacking years ago. Each individual item that I was going to cook, I typed out a small direction list, and it told me how much water to put in and exactly what to do with it. It made it so much quicker and easier.
Chrissy advises learn to do things for yourself. If you don't have someone who can teach you to do things, borrow books from your local library, teach yourself, or watch how-to videos on YouTube. She has saved thousands of dollars by simply looking up tutorials and deciding, I think I can try to do this myself.
You can always save money by doing it yourself. Another viewer gave some great grocery budget advice. I divide the monthly grocery budget into 4 parts and only take 1 week's worth of money with me on my shopping trip.
And those of you who have watched us for any length of time know that we divide our grocery budget into 5 parts.
Yeah.
And we save that extra fifth, that 20%. That is our stock up fund. And that is a way that you can always stock up without blowing out your grocery budget. Because we all go to the store and sometimes and find those incredible deals and think, yeah, but it's going to take all of this week's grocery budget if I buy the things that are on great discount or markdown. This avoids that.
Suzanne from Portugal says, why buy it if you can have it for free? And that's a great tip. But her tip is always ask for samples at the dentist, such as toothpaste, maybe toothbrushes. Great for traveling. Dental treatments cost a lot. So at least this way you bring home something more than just the bill to pay. Her next tip is always ask for samples on beauty shops, such as makeup, foundation, or perfumes. This way you can try it without spending. And then tip 3 is always ask for samples at the pharmacy. They have samples for body wash, body lotion, shampoo, aspirin, sun protector, lots of things. What a great idea.
All right, I was mentioned she's from Portugal. Thanks for watching from Portugal. That's super fun for us.
It is.
Have you guys, some of these tips I know still work in the States. I don't think I've ever seen like a lot of samples at the pharmacy. So we want to know from you guys, like, have you found some of these things in the United States? Cindy Stahl, keep vegetables in a tea towel lined plastic box in your fridge. The reason this is important, and we have done this, is because it keeps the moisture ratio perfect on those fruits and vegetables, and that helps them to last a whole lot longer.
Adriana says aloe vera plants provide a great skin hair care and don't stain clothing. Very easy to maintain.
I had 2 aloe vera plants for a really long time. Bought them from Aldi's. They were super duper cheap. And I kept them for years, and they have now died. So if any of my children are listening, my birthday next week, guys, aloe vera plants. I would love to have some new aloe vera plants. Vegeregs has a sweet tooth. Instead of spur-of-the-moment ice cream store splurges, we make sure we have really tasty drumsticks or ice cream treats in our freezer. I've learned they need to be pretty good freezer treats to compare, and then I buy them on sale. Even one less stop at Dairy Queen can save $20. I'm a huge fan, like, of some of those fancy, like, drumsticks and stuff. Yeah. You find them on sale, or BOGO, buy one get one free, even better. Stick them in your freezer, special treat, especially when you have company. That's really fun to pull out.
What is your favorite ice cream treat? Tell us in the comments.
Midwest Mom Volunteer says label leftovers with a Post-it or sticky note. Put the contents and the date. That way everyone knows what to eat first.
Yes,
super duper important.
Great.
We try to put leftovers together as meals too. Say rice and vegetables. Combine them together and you can feed your family for a whole meal instead of just little bitty parts of leftovers. We do that all the time too. We keep a dry erasable marker next to the refrigerator.
We do.
And like a lot of those plastic containers, you can label the top with the
lid.
dry erase marker.
Put it on the lid,
and put the contents and the date as well.
Yeah, and that helps so much because it takes the mystery out of how long has this item been in the refrigerator.
It's the mystery item.
Yeah, and once in a while we'll find one that's way too long and we'll have to throw it out, but not as often by labeling them. A viewer suggests no waste idea. Ate all the pickles out of the pickle jar. Don't throw that jar away. You have the pickle juice to consume.
Okay.
My dad used to drink that directly.
This is what I really like because other people saw that post and they responded. So Jennifer Mills says she uses that pickle juice as a marinade for chicken. That makes perfect sense to me, right? Yeah. Because when you are brining a bird, you've got that vinegar in there and it sort of, it makes the meat more moist.
Probably more tender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so that makes good sense to me. Corinia suggested you can use it in your vinaigrette sauces. I use it in potato salad. So
excellent.
So this is your homework, guys. You're going to tell us different ideas that you use pickle juice for. Pickle juice reuse ideas.
Gina Piano says, I go often to the grocery store and find 50% off items, and I use flash food like it's going out of style.
She does too. So we are Facebook friends and she sends me photos of these flash food deals that she's gotten. Absolutely incredible. By the way, Gina is from Canada. Oh. And so a lot of our Canadian viewers have said that there's apps that work in the US, don't work in Canada. Flash food is very active in Canada. So if you don't have Flash Food, download that app and it's easy to use. Basically, the grocery stores are taking items that they either have an overstock of or some vegetables and fruits that are getting a little bit past the date where they want to sell them by. They put them all together in a box, and a box is going to cost you like $3 or $5 for the entire box of vegetables. You get home, sometimes it's the same kind of vegetable or fruit, and sometimes it's different kinds all mixed together.
Holly Fagan sent us this tip. Always shake your clothes out as you move them from the washer to the dryer.
Because it helps it to get drier faster.
Yeah, it gets air in there a little bit.
Even when I'm line drying, especially when I'm line drying, I give every item a shake before I put it on the clothesline because it helps reduce wrinkles when you do that.
Cynthia says, I learned to make Amish meadow tea from the mint in the garden. There's always tons. And my 19-year-old athletic son says, this tastes like what Gatorade would taste like if Gatorade didn't suck.
There you go. All right. How do you make this, you might ask? Get ready. We're going to tell you. Here's the recipe. Boil 1 cup of sugar in 1 quart of water. Now, the original recipe did call for 2 cups, but she cut it in half and used 1 cup. Pour this over 2 cups of washed fresh mint leaves. Allow to steep for 20 minutes. Strain. Add the juice of 2 lemons. Add water to make 1 gallon. Chill it and serve it cold. There you go. Amish meadow tea. It sounded really yummy.
It looks good. Virginia left this comment. My mother and I have exchanged the same birthday card for 34 years. I send it to her every August, and it comes back to me every January. It's never been signed. It just travels back and forth. Imagine that, 34 years. That is great.
I told Larry, I said, I would sign it like not with the name, just say, love ya or love you so much, because that would be appropriate going back and forth any direction. I think that is such a fun idea.
You know, I don't buy Hope cards. I don't buy her too many. Once in a while I might, but for the most part, I write her just a 1-page note and send it to her.
He writes me love notes. It's very, very nice. Wendy has cheap cleaning advice. I've been making my own all-purpose cleaner with 1 part water, 1 part hydrogen peroxide, and a spoonful of dish soap. Perfect for those who are sensitive to scents. We talked a little bit about this. We just did a video, 25 ways to stretch different household supplies. And one of the things we talked about was having a great all-purpose cleaner.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to get a look at that video, we did give 24 other tips on it. I'm going to make sure, guys, that we'll leave a link for it up above. We'll also put it in the description of this video.
Kelly buys Dawn by the gallon. She says, it's my laundry, dish, cleaner, and mopping soap. It's great. So she's got it down to just 1 cleaner does all. That's a great way to save some money.
Chicago says, plastic shower caps make good bowl covers. I used to travel a lot, so I would save the ones from the hotel rooms and use them as covers.
Catherine Richardson says she left this tip from her grandmother. Use petroleum jelly on the heel of your feet to help smooth the rough and dry heels. It is best to apply the jelly and cover your feet with loose socks at night before you go to bed. By morning, you will see an improvement.
My mother used to do this when we were sick with Vicks Vapor Rub. Anybody else's mother put Vicks Vapor Rub on your bottom of your feet when you were sick, and then you put your socks on and it would help overnight? It would help break fevers. Laura from Scotland. I go to the local college to get my hair cut. It's overseen by a tutor. It's free. Students are happy to have a model. Thanks for watching from Scotland, Laura. That's awesome.
Snuggest the Cute says, I pop popcorn kernels in the microwave using a glass bowl with a glass lid. One of my old casserole dishes that comes with a lid. You can even use a glass bowl with a glass plate to cover it. No oil, nothing. I microwave it for 4.5 minutes. It depends on your microwave, but just listen for the popping to slow down and stop the microwave at that point. That's saving a lot of money on microwaved popcorn.
I know it. It's like a gimmick. I'm feeling like microwave popcorn is a huge gimmick. Sherry Ellison agrees, by the way.
Yeah.
She said that she uses the microwave, but she just puts it in a brown paper bag, rolls the top down a little bit, I assume so that the popping kernels won't like escape into your microwave, and she nukes it for 3 to 4 minutes. No oil. Absolutely no oil needed. If you're ready for even more great viewer tips, watch this recent coffee chat where we gave a whole different batch of great tips from our viewers. It's right over there.